Austin, the owner of Poker Refugees, and we're sitting here with Federico Quevedo, who is an online poker player living in Costa Rica, and his name online is
Majagua69.
Majagua69.
I was young when I created my PokerStars screen name, so.
Everybody, I think, agrees that they want to change their screen name at one time or another because the one they invented when they were 18 doesn't work anymore.
No.
It happens to even people who win huge tournaments, just like Fede did last night on PokerStars, the Mountain Series main event, 2K main event for $350,000.
Actually, $350,280 because I did promise someone that I would spend the $280 on bikinis for her. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Well, I need a new bikini. No, I don't. I have about 500 bikinis, but that's part of living in Costa Rica.
Yeah.
So I just thought that we would talk with Federico a little bit about how he came to online poker in Costa Rica and basically what that experience has been like, and just completely coincidentally leading up to winning a huge tournament last night. So, Fede, how old are you right now?
32. I'll be 33 next Monday. So this was a really good birthday gift from the universe.
Yeah. And how long have you been playing online poker?
I mean, playing, like, I don't know, maybe since, like, 2002? Like, but not professionally. Like, I was just playing with, I started, like, the same way that most people, like, just playing with friends, just playing with friends, and I started playing online for fun, and just keep playing online, and then I realized that I could actually make some money out of this, and decided that, well, I might actually take this seriously. And professionally, I think, I had a kind of a job for a long time, and I was playing on the side, but just full-time poker, maybe like 4 or 5 years.
Okay, because when I started Poker Refugees, that was 2011, and I don't think you were playing full-time then, because I knew you from surfing.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize until like after I was in the poker industry that you were playing full-time.
Yeah, I think I might have started a little bit, like, playing full-time a little bit after Black Friday. So, yeah, great timing for me. When the games got tougher, like, I decided, hey, yeah, I'm going to do this for a living. I like a challenge.
The worst time.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, I guess I'll do this. But yeah, I mean, it has worked out pretty well. Like, I feel like I've always been smart and just trying to avoid, like, difficult spots. You know, like 2K mains. Oh, yeah, wait, what?
Yeah.
No, like, I'm a cash game player, and I play a lot of the Euro sites and a lot of the smaller sites, so that's always, like, very helpful, like, just because it's way softer, way softer. But yeah, at one point, like, I feel it's just not good if you just want to, like, if you're content with just making money. Like, I feel like everybody at one point, yeah, you want to make money, but actually I want to always improve my game, and I want to be the best player that I can be. In order to do that, I have to play with the players that are better than me. I'm fully aware that a lot of the players, probably the last 18 players in this tourney were better MTT players than I am, by far. But hey, you have to run good too. So
yeah. So what would you say that your regular game is? Like,
I play mostly 200 PLO.
Okay.
Yeah, like 1-2 PLO up to maybe if I see good games, I'll play for 100 PLO. Up to like 1K PLO, like if it's a really good game. But yeah, mostly 200 PLO. Okay. 100 to 200 PLO. That's like my main game.
Yeah. And then some tournaments here and there.
Yeah, I play a fairly amount of tourneys. Like, I've been transitioning to tournaments. I figure, I mean, you can still make money at PLO, definitely. It's not as advanced as No Limit Hold'em. But, I mean, with some of the stuff I saw, like, in the early levels, the 2K and early levels of, like, the 700s and so on the 500, those tourneys, like, there's people still making, like, really big mistakes. So I'm sure there's still money to be made at MTT. So I'm trying to learn more.
And do you spread your play out across different sites?
Oh, yeah.
All of the sites? Like,
all the sites.
All the sites, okay.
All the sites.
Yeah.
I have playing, like, Macho Poker and, like, some very random sites. Like,
yeah.
I mean, it's always a risk, though. Like, I mean, some sites don't really pay, and, like, I mean, they'll pay, just, like, very slowly, so you have to be, like, really careful with that. But, yeah. Like, I think I have more of some action, like, Yeah, across different sides with like 888. But definitely stars. Like I still play tons of like cash stars. Just not as high. Like so I don't play 200 below on stars because it's way tougher. Like I just usually play 100
Right.
below there.
Okay, so one of the questions that we get all the time is like, can you make a living playing online poker these days? Because there's a lot of like changes going on in the industry all the time. There's a lot of negative, I guess, situations, talk, opinions. I mean, the games have gotten tougher, as you said. Like, as soon as Black Friday happened, the games got tougher, and nobody can argue with that. But how do you see like the daily life of a poker player right now? Like, how hard is it on a scale from 1 to 10? And I know you only have compared to when Black Friday started till now, but over the past 5 years, how have the games changed? Has it gotten harder? Is it realistic for somebody coming from America or any country? Like, let's say you turn 18 and you want to move to a country to play poker. Like, is it realistic for people just starting the game or even who've been out of the game for a long time to come in and make this their career now?
That's a tough one. I think you can definitely do it. But it's not gonna be easy. It's gonna be kind of the same to going to college. Like you're gonna have to put the hours. You're gonna have to study. I mean, some people have a knack for poker, and some people it's just great. But that's very few. I am not one of the lucky ones. Like
you have to work at it.
Yeah, you have to study. You have to like be willing to sacrifice time and like everybody thinks you're a poker player. Like in my case, for example, that I live at the beach and like I can surf like every day and stuff like. Everybody's like, oh, your life's so blessed. Yeah, it's super blessed. I agree. But I have put the time. Like, you have to study. You have to sacrifice a lot of night outs because next day you have tournaments or next day you have a big day too. Or maybe, like, sometimes you're being something fairly big. Like, I don't know, like, let's say you're starting and you're being like a 20K score and you're like, oh my God, this is all the money in the world. Then you realize it's not really that much money. And yeah, it's just like it takes a lot of hard work. I think it can be definitely done by anyone that is smart. Yeah, just regular smart. You don't have to be a genius.
You just have to put in the hard work.
You need to put the hard work, and I think a lot of the elite players have put the hard work. Like, I mean, there's guys that I admire, like online players that I admire, like I don't know, like OTG, Red Bar, like he's like a six max cash game player. That's where I started, like cash games. And like, I mean, I know the guy. You know, he's like GTO strategy. Like, and I mean, these are guys that actually
GTOs is very important.
For online, yeah, definitely. I think for online cash, definitely.
Do you do any coaching like online or like take coaching or courses?
I do take coaching,
books?
But I take coach. I have taken coaching for like people I actually believe will improve my game. I think there's a lot of coaches out there that just beyond terrible. Like you have to be really careful who's gonna coach you, and I mean, I mean personally, like I appreciate their coaching. I love the fact that I've been coached by like some good players, but me personally, I think I'm a little bit selfish. I wouldn't do it. Like I mean, I might help a friend of mine. Yeah,
at least you're honest.
Yeah, like I might help a friend of mine like in some like minor mistake or something, but I'm not about to develop my strategy. Like if it was up to me, for example, this final table, I wouldn't. Like, I would love to start not to replay it.
You think you made some mistakes?
No. Actually, I think I played really good. I didn't, like, for me, helped a lot the fact that I don't play high-stakes entities. So it was an unknown for a lot of these players. And I was talking to, like, a couple, like, I think on the break, when we made the final table, I think on the break, I got, like, a couple messages from, like, high-stakes entity players. They're my friends, like, Costa Rica, that people that live in Costa Rica. They're like, oh, we wanted to put something in the rail, but we didn't want to blow your cover. Like, we knew you... Because we figured it's like good for you that you were non in this final table. Like because you look up my results, I have maybe like 10 grand in cashes. Like 10 grand in winnings. I got like a scoop final table, but like it was a Badugi. So like definitely the MTT high stake 4. They were like, who's this guy?
Yeah, so you were the underdog.
Oh yeah, by far.
I prefer that actually.
Yeah, and it just happened that I played like 2 different styles in the journey. I was like very tight for a while. I was very card dead, and I had like 2 really tough players to my left, so I just didn't want to get into like really tough situations that I would probably make a mistake against like good online MTT Rex. So I was playing for all the time, and then I won a big hand against Woody, that he's a crusher, and I realized we're like very close to the final table bubble, and there was no more page jumps till the final table, so like everybody wanted to get there, and the two guys that had more chips than I did were at the other table, so I just like literally turned on the switch and just started racing like a crazy person, which is very common. It's a strategy.
I believe you.
Yeah.
I'm not the best strategy person in poker, but
Oh, I love it. When were you in that spot that you had a lot of chips and you could put pressure on people? Oh my god!
So wait, where were you in chips at that time?
Third.
Third.
I think I made it to the final table in second in chips.
Okay.
Yeah, I think when I won that flip, I think I have like 1.4 million chips or so, and when I made it to the final table without busting anyone, I think I had 2.2 mil, just punishing the final table bubble.
And you mentioned that, so your backer, who was one of our former clients from 3 or 4 years ago, he was in a different country during this tournament, but he messaged you to congratulate you, and himself probably.
Yeah.
But, so what is the dynamic like in the stable that he has? Like, do you play with the other players?
I'm friends with them
horses?
from before. Like, we all know each other from before. My backer was Fran before he was a backer, and we all know each other. It's not that many of us, anyways. And
are they Costa Rican or from all different countries?
No, they're American.
Oh, mostly American. Okay.
I mean, we just know each other a lot. Like, they'll run like whenever they want to play cash out, they'll run hands through me, and I obviously run a lot of MTT hands through them because they're mostly MTT players. And yeah, I mean, they help out a lot. It's like you need to advance a little bit in my MTT game. I think it helped a lot. I did a couple things during the final table. At the final table, like 5-handed, I did a couple things that I probably wouldn't have done before, and yeah, it definitely helped me a lot. There were like a couple different spots that I was like before. I was like, I guess I just fall here, and I'm like, I guess I can 4-bet.
Because of conversations.
Yeah, because of conversations before, like similar spot. They're like, oh no, this is a 4-bet spot. I'm like, what? But I have 5-6. Actually, my biggest spot of the final table was like 4-handed when I 3-bet 6-7 out of the small blind, when I actually 3-bet the hand before out of the big blind with 8 deuce. And the reason I 3-bet both of those hands is the two guys opening first was the guy who got second, but he's like a really good Spanish player, like I would say like a Russian Spanish player. And the other guy, I don't want to call him anything wrong, but I didn't think he was that strong. And there was the third player. He was like he maybe had like 11 big blinds. So actually, I learned fairly recently, which is very bad.
Convenient.
Very convenient, but like very bad. I didn't know this. Like the ICM spot was huge, so like I could just 3-bet these guys like nothing, because they didn't want to bust, because there was a guy that had only 11 big blinds, and then I got lucky on the fact that the second time that I 3-bet like a weak hand like 6-7, the guy with second in chips called with Ace Jack, and the flop was 6-Jack-7. And he refused to fold. And I got a huge pot, 4-handed. I busted the second guy in chips, and then I have 6-point-something mil. And between the two other players, they have probably like less than 3 million. So I was like, okay, I'm not chopping now.
I find that so interesting because, like, right now we're at Federico's mom's house, which is in Escazu, and it's so quiet and peaceful, and we hear the birds. And
oh yeah, it's a great place to grind.
Yeah, so you have these like different environments where, you know, sometimes you're here, sometimes you're at your house on the beach, surfing and playing poker, and then sometimes with your backer, or sometimes with other horses that in different houses. And where do you think that you play the most, or what is like the best combination of having like that quiet time and then also the community aspect of other players, and like how do you balance
I
that?
personally rather play by myself.
Yeah.
Just like I can focus better. It's nice. Like for example, like yesterday I was here by myself, like, and I have several poker player friends that live here in San Jose. They're like, "Oh, should we come over for 5 table?" I was like, "No."
So much pressure.
Yeah, I just. Well, no, I know they're all watching anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
True.
It's just I like being by myself and just focus on what I'm doing, and like I turn it off Skype, I turn it off Facebook, I turn it off everything. I just literally like turn off everything and just play. somebody asked me yesterday after I won. He's like, "Did you see how many people were watching that final table?" I'm like, "I have no clue." It's like 30,000 people.
Wow.
Something like that. I was like, "Oh wow, that's a lot of people." But like, I just like in my personal, like, I don't mind grinding with people. It can be a lot of fun, but I think that's a very personal thing. I mean, for some people, it's fine to grind with a lot of people. For me, like personally, I think I'd rather just be by myself, maybe with somebody else, and maybe a small group, like maybe 1 or 2 people. It's fun, but.
So, what is like your normal routine? In like a typical day, like how often, how many days a week do you play?
I usually play.
Schedule?
I think I play almost every day though. But like when I'm at the beach, like I come to San Jose every week, at least once a week, Tuesdays, because there's a big live PLO game that I love it. Yeah, I love it.
And you play at the casino sometimes, right?
That tournaments. One. Oh no, not really. Like barely. Like whenever I want to have fun, like because they're like smallish tournaments, like $100, $150. Like it's 2 days. Like usually they're 2 days. So like 2 days I'm not able to play online, and I think first prize might be like 5 to 6K, which is completely fine if I win that. But like most of the time I'm not gonna get first prize.
Right.
So like most of the time I just think it's worth it. But like whenever I want to have fun and stuff, like I'll definitely go and play. And like I play more than a few, to be honest. Yeah.
Was it at Barcelona maybe? Or one of the Barcelona hotels?
Yeah, that closed a long time ago. Yeah, there's now the Sheraton. They actually had $200 during this week. But obviously, I wasn't gonna miss the Mountain Series, which is a good decision.
Yes.
To play a $200 tournament live. No, I come mostly for that live cash PLO game. So when I'm here during the week, I usually stay at my backers and we have pizza.
Pizza.
Yeah, he orders pizza every Tuesday. It's like 2 for 1 in Solomia. It's like a really good pizza.
Oh, I love Solomia.
Yeah. So
good
a lot of pizza. Yeah, really good pizza. And just like hang out and go play that game. But I'm only here for like 1 or 2 days a week at most. And when I'm at the beach, usually wake up early, go surfing like most days, and start grinding around. Like I have breakfast and stuff. Like I usually start grinding like around 10ish. Playing until like 2. Stop. Cash games. That's a good thing about cash. They're tough, but
you don't have to
be like 10 hours there every day. Actually, my MTT friends were making fun of me yesterday because after I won, we went out and we were having drinks. I was let's go to Quartel, which is like a bar that gets good on Mondays. And I'm like, no, I just want to sit here. I'm exhausted. I've been playing 9 hours every day for 4 days. They're like, fuck you, man.
Like
we do that every day.
9?
Yeah, they were like, what? Stop crying. And I'm like, I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I'm like, oh man, I'm 32.
I find that interesting too because, like, so from the perspective of Americans after Black Friday, well, everybody's world changed on Black Friday. Yeah. But 5 years. Oh my gosh! Wait, it's almost the anniversary of Black Friday.
Oh yeah,
in a few days. 5 years.
Jesus.
So in this like time since Black Friday, I mean, so much has changed slowly as far as like the culture of poker players abroad. So you're Costa Rican or born in Costa Rica, you've lived in the States, you've come back. So for you, you could always technically play poker here because it was, open market. And I guess, how do you think that it would be different without Black Friday for you? Because so many of your current friends and your network here are Canadian, American, European, who have come in to like settle in Costa Rica and play poker.
Yeah, that's actually something I have thought about it. Like, obviously, I would love for like the Americans to be able to play. I think we all will.
Yeah.
And I think it's really messed up they're not able to play. It's just insane for me. Like I cannot wrap my hand around a government. It's like, you can't play poker. But
it's bizarre.
Yeah, it's really bizarre. The other part, I'm really grateful at some point that kind of happened because like I met like some really good people because that happens.
Yeah.
And I know some of them said that it's a blessing in disguise. It's just facts that like I feel the players are still here in Costa Rica just love it here. Like they just love it here, and they enjoy being here, and they're like happy with their life, how it turned out. For example, there are some Canadians here too, and they can play from Canada, so they just
So
it worked out like I mean, I'm grateful of the opportunity of meeting some people that I think otherwise I wouldn't have met, and it's like they're like very good people, like very nice people. Not just because they help me with a poker game, just because I consider them friends,
Yeah.
like real friends. And so in that part is good, but like no, the worst. Like if I could choose, like, if I could go back and not to happen, I would obviously rather not to happen. I think it's really messed up. Like a lot of people have to like leave their country when they were perfectly happy there to like do what they love to do, and like, it's just wrong. It's just wrong. Like I mean, they should be able to play from their house, and just the fact that for the persons like they had to leave their own country. It's just like because I understand the feeling. Like I was born here in Costa Rica, but I actually grew up in Venezuela. My dad is Venezuelan. And the main reason my family moved to Costa Rica is because of the whole political thing in Venezuela. So I know how it feels to have to leave your country.
Yeah.
Like I was happy living in Venezuela. Don't get me wrong. Like I'd rather Costa Rica better ways.
There are like poker refugees, and then there are actual legitimate refugees of political strife.
Yeah,
it's more serious.
Yeah, but it's still like at the same like. Yeah, you could say it's more serious, but like if you're a poker player, this is what you dedicate your life to, and then you have to leave because your government doesn't let you. Like that's insane. Like, and you guys, like, I mean, you guys have the one like land of the free. Like, free to do what? Like that's so
free
wrong.
with terms.
Yeah,
there's some
like,
fine print.
You're able to spend your money what we want, not what you want. Like, it just makes no sense to me.
And have you seen like a lot of poker players come and go through Costa Rica over the years? Do you think most of them are still playing poker, but from other places? Yeah.
No, I think maybe 30% might be still playing poker. Games got tougher, like, and everybody was used to. Like, I remember before Black Friday, I was able to win without. Like, I always put some study on it because I was very passionate about the game itself. But I was able to win playing part time. I was winning quite a bit. It's one of the main reasons I decided to quit. I'm like, oh, we can make this full time. I'm gonna make way more, and I'm like, oh yeah,
yeah.
But I still did okay. But just like, a lot of players found the game tougher. Some of the players got homesick with all reason. I mean, you love the place you leave. Like, if I have to leave Costa Rica because Southern didn't allow to play online poker here, I'd be really upset about it. Like, I'm not sure I will be able to adapt, but like, I wouldn't be happy. And for some people, like, their home is their home, and they get homesick, and it's just you can't focus.
Yeah. Definitely. I mean, I know a lot of players are very transient and they travel around the world, and like part of your schedule every year, I know you go to some LAPT events and World Series of Poker and things like that. So I guess it can be challenging like long term to adapt, and there seems to be like an intangible set of factors that can attribute to the success or not of an online poker player, whether he's Canadian or American or wherever he's from, because you have like the financial aspect, bankroll, culture shock.
Yeah, that can be a big one.
And just like adapt. It's got to be difficult to adapt to the games being tougher, a different country, and all of these other things that are happening. But I guess you have some friends who've been here for quite some time, and do you have any guess as to like why they have been successful? Is it like a network that they have with other players, or the types of...
Definitely network helps.
Yeah.
Like just the fact, like, I mean, I have like different group of friends. I have like my surfer friends, and I have my regular friends, or not from surfing, just friends, and I have my poker player friends. And for the expats, for like the guys coming from the States or another countries, like just having a group of people with their similar background stuff helps, because this is a cultural shock. Like, I mean, there's beautiful things about Costa Rica, but there's things for you guys that you guys get here and you're like, what the hell is going on here? Like,
lines,
a lot of lines. It's like a what's it called, DMV? The license.
DMV.
DMV, yeah. That's a line everywhere.
Yes.
that's
the bank.
Yeah, it's like every bank is the same. Like, I mean, and then it's just like different, like culture stuff. Like, I mean, so many different things. So yeah, for some people, like it might help to like have a group of friends that they can share with. Some of them adapt perfectly to the country. Like there is, sure you know some of them, but like there are some players that I have to like just made alive here, and they're like they have Costa Rican girlfriends. Like some of them are married, they have kids, and they're happy, and they're like this is the best thing that could ever happen to me.
Yeah.
So it really depends. I mean, I think that's like I said, like a lot of those things. It really depends on the person. Like some people adapt better.
I think it's very dynamic and like very individual, but I don't know. I would say after having relocated 600, almost 600 poker players and sports veterans, like we need to do some more study on the numbers and like the success rates of people long term, like over more than a year, for example, and maybe see what the trends are. But I definitely think it's something that people never regret. Like I don't think I've ever heard anyone say like I wish I didn't go to Costa Rica to play online poker, or I don't know. Usually when people leave, they like really tend to cherish that experience.
Yeah. I think at least like most people will appreciate the experience of living somewhere else.
Yeah,
it's always a good thing. I mean, it's always fun to like see different cultures, just eat different foods, meet different people.
What is your favorite part of Costa Rica compared to like living in the States, because you lived in California for a while? Like, what are the things that you miss about the American lifestyle in California, and what are like the pros to living here compared to that?
I mean, there's things in the States that are awesome. Like, I mean, just prices on like electronic stuff. I mean, it's that a lot. Like, you can buy like a huge freaking monitor for like $200, and here it's like 500. Like, and I mean, like some convenient stuff, like like it's like very easy, like to get around in the States. Like it's very easy to like. There's a lot of things that are easier, like lifestyle wise, like those
things that you wouldn't normally think about in the States might be harder to do here.
Yeah, exactly. Like I mean, but in general, like for me personally, the way I always wanted to live my life. Like, I don't really miss that much. Like, I don't love the big crowds. I don't love the big clubs. I honestly couldn't care less about a big club. Like, I mean, I guess, like, I'm trying to think of, like, things that I miss. I don't really miss that much. Like, besides the fact of being able to buy, like, cheaper stuff.
Yeah, cheaper stuff.
Besides that, like, I don't know, like, I think, yeah, me personally, like, I think I adapt better to the Costa Rican lifestyle. But then again, I live at the beach.
Yeah.
It's just very easy to adapt to that lifestyle.
Yeah, you have like this nice climate here.
Yeah, I can. If it's an hour and a half drive, only. Oh, roads! I miss the roads in the States. Yes, that I miss. That I miss a lot.
So, what is your grind setup like at the beach? Like, how fast is your internet?
Oh, I have like 20 megas.
20 megas. That's really good for Costa Rica. I mean, for the beach in Costa Rica.
Yeah, no, Cable Tica is not outside San Jose.
Oh, you have Cable Tica.
Outside San Jose is the best thing you can have.
Yeah, we use that a lot, but I thought Issei was the main one there.
In San Jose, probably, but in the beach area.
And Cerrillos.
Yeah, it just in Jaco. As the guys in Jaco, they'll tell you, oh, we need quality.
Yeah, we usually do that.
Yeah, it's just really good. But yeah, no, my grind, like I just have like a pretty regular setup. Like I have a decent normal desk. I had a nice shirt, but chair.
Jesus,
sorry, second language, guys. But yeah, I think I had that nice chair for like 4 years, so it might be time to change it.
So now that you won this money, like, what are you gonna do next?
Go to Disney.
Disney World.
Oh, Disney World. That's it.
Same thing, Disneyland.
Yeah. I don't know.
How will this change your like? Will it change?
Not really. Like it doesn't really. Like I think I have pretty much all I need right now. Like I love my car. I have a pickup truck, which is very useful in Costa Rica. I might actually like pimp it a little bit. Like not pimp it, but like probably just put some racks on it.
Yeah. Will it change like the games that you play or the stakes?
For sure.
Stay the same.
Yeah, I'll stay the same because my deal is still the same. Like I got all my own action below 200 and 200 below. So and whenever I'm playing higher, I'm still back for those. So I'm just still gonna play the same. Like up probably only. I'm gonna play higher scoops. That's probably the only thing because my backer right now, I don't think he can refuse.
Right.
Anything.
This is good bankroll management tips.
Yeah, I
don't jump up stakes.
No, it's just
keep going.
I had a fun discussion yesterday that I was wondering how many people would be in the waiting list if I decided to sit down today at 25.50, no limit.
Oh yeah, they'll be like,
I think the over-under was like 35.
That name looks familiar now.
Oh, they'll like. I mean, they'll do like high. Yeah. I don't know. I know all the like bigger stakes, like mid stakes to high stakes. No limit players have sitting scripts, so like I'm not unknown at those stakes. So like if I sit there, like they will immediately, like it will just get full like in a second. And yeah, they'll question.
And what do you think about the changes that have happened at PokerStars recently? Has that impacted you directly?
Not me that much because I'm multi-site, but like I have friends that are supernova leads, and I agree with the fact that if they wanted to change the program and just get rid of supernova lead and supernova and the rewards, that's their prerogative. That's the way they did it is the most fucked up thing I ever seen in my life. I have a really good friend that is a supernova lead. He's one of the most hardworking people I know because he grinds sit and goes and not the high stakes sit and goes. He like mid stakes, like 15 to 100s. This guy puts tons of hours, like tons of energy into making supernova lead because for him, like he doesn't want to go to the higher stakes and it's a big grind, and he's counting that there's always a 2-year commitment. And the only reason Stars released what they were doing is because he got leaked and they're rushing whatever thing. So I mean, for people like him, it's like it's really messed up. Like you're putting a whole year.
Is he staying like playing poker now, or has
definitely no, because he can win. But obviously he's not third tabling now. He's like game selecting more and stuff. He can still win. Like I said, like I think it's might be good in the long term at some point, but just the way they did it, it's really wrong. They should have just go like, okay, so we're gonna get rid. I accept that. They did say like, okay, we're probably gonna get rid of this. It should have stayed one more year. Like, it should have been this year as well.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if you made Supernova League last year, you should have the same benefits that the Supernova League got last year for this year, and then they'll tell, okay, after 2017, this is what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
They did this did this change right now for the rebuys. Like before, like for example, $11 3x, which I play a lot for like LHD Satis. It's like $11 3x rebuy, and it's $11 and rebuys were 10. All of them. Now it's 11, 11, 11, 11,
okay.
11, which is
the costs keep going up.
The costs keep going up. I think they're just getting way too greedy.
What is like the play long term for you? Like, what are your long term goals with poker, and how will you keep adapting to these changes just by staying diversified on different sites?
Yeah, because I love playing poker. Like, I mean, I did say this in an interview before, but like I would love to have enough money to be a recreational player, just not have to worry about it. Yeah. But I love poker. I don't think I'll ever quit.
So this is like your job for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, for sure. Like even if I can make $1 million tomorrow, like I think I'll still play poker. I just wouldn't grind as hard probably. Like I'll be like more chill about it. Like I will, like if I have enough money not to worry about money, like I'll probably just still play. But mostly I'll be a recreational player. Like hopefully not dunk off my money. But no, like I'm competitive in poker. I think just in poker, like I'm not a competitive person in general. I'm pretty like that's fine. You win, good job. But in poker, definitely competitive. Because I like the smart. Like I'll win someone in some spots. Like the whole thing is just a lot of fun. So I would probably still enjoy playing poker, but...
What did you study in college?
Minor was political science, and I went to law school in Costa Rica. Then I actually worked at a law firm for like 3 months, like a big one. And for the first time I realized, have you heard those stories of the people going into their job with a freaking machine gun and killing everyone? Yeah, I get it now. I hate
Someone did that at your
job? No.
Oh.
But I'm saying, working with lawyers, I was like, and I'm sorry if you guys are lawyers or anybody has lawyer family, but in general, like I know there's really nice people that are lawyers, but in general, it's just, no.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really add to that because I've always worked for myself. I've always worked in like a capacity independently. I've never commuted to a job, and I know a lot of people look at poker as a way to kind of escape that rat race and the office life and living in a cubicle. So you lasted 3 months.
Yeah.
If you ever have like problems getting motivated to play poker every day, or does it just come naturally?
I like playing poker. I enjoy playing poker. Yeah. Besides this, again, like that's a good thing. Like that's the power of being lucky. Like I always manage my bankroll very well, so and I always have like I actually follow. Like I didn't really like him. I thought he was conceited, but he actually he was a really, really, really good cash game player. So he wrote a book which I read, which is a good book. And he did give an advice there that he says that you should have save up 6 months of expenses.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to follow that, and actually I did it to a year expensive. And so I was never worried about having my expensive money.
Yeah.
So just the fact that I didn't have to grind, I was happy about going to grind because it wasn't a responsibility. It was mostly something I wanted to do.
Right.
And if one day if I want to go to Pomones because it's a big South Swell for 4 days, I was like, oh.
That's a really good point because I know a lot of people ask me, like, how much money should I have saved up? And it just depends because everyone's bankroll is different.
Yeah,
but
and living expensive depends. Like, I have a friend, he was going through a harder time financially, and he's like, I think if I can bring, he said, I think if I can bring my expenses down to $12K a month, I'll be fine. I'm like, what?
Well.
Yeah. And I'm like.
That's generous.
Yeah, I was like, you mean you bring your expenses down to 12K? That's okay. So it really depends on the people. Like, I don't think. I think
6 months is good. Like, that's like.
Yeah, 6 months.
If you just calculate your expenses for 6 months, and like, this is a really, really helpful tip because, like, I know players who have moved to a different country with enough money to last like 2 weeks, and they have to hope that they bank something really early on. And I just really, really recommend people like to be successful. I mean, it's almost like a dieting. Like, to lose weight, you have to exercise, you have to eat right. To win at poker, like, long term, you probably have to have like a good bankroll management.
Definitely,
like,
that's a big one.
Work hard, study. Do the work after hours, like after you're done
not
playing.
just playing. I think I put like maybe like 5 to 6 hours every week. Like, I mean, it doesn't mean like I think a lot of people feel like you have to be like peel solving stuff and like. No, not necessarily. Just like use a little bit of Flopzilla. Like, just talk hands with your friends. Like, if you think a friend is really good, and you can talk over a hand forever. Like, just like you can do the math on it. Like, study doesn't necessarily mean like you have to be like, like watching like some like crazy Phil Galfin videos. He's talking about like I saw a pillow video he did. It was literally the discussion of how one car. Like, the whole deck of cards could change a different board texture. It was like some really mad thing. And I ended up watching it and I felt like I wasted an hour because he went way over my head. I was like, so it doesn't necessarily need to be like something like, it's just like, like just regular study. Like you will do like during college. Because that's the difference with poker. Like, you always study. You always need to study. You always need to evolve with the game. Like, I mean, there was a time during like entities, the trend was like just opening, but then everybody realized, especially cash game players, first realized, okay, I can defend for the big blind here all the time with any 2 cards basically because I can play flops and I'm getting great odds and blah blah blah. So now the entity guys adjust, and now the people is not up. I noticed in this turn like the regs, they were not opening in 2x anymore. They were opening bigger again, so the big blinds wouldn't defend as much, and then the big blinds were defending. It just it just evolves every time. So you need to keep studying because if not, it will leave you behind. I'm sure there were guys that were like extremely good 3 years ago.
Yeah.
But right now they're like not good. Just not even mediocre. They're just bad.
Yeah, I could definitely see. I've seen like a range of people from, people who put 0 hours in studying, and then people who are literally writing their own like math formulas, equations,
those guys are
figuring
just
things
above
out,
this level.
and everything in between. But yeah, I agree. Just like hard work, I think anything's possible.
Like, regretfully, the times that poker was easy, they're gone. They're just gone. Like, a lot of people think like, oh, we get the American market back. No. The time to make easy money is gone. So if you want to make a living out of poker, like, you have to put the work. So it should be something you love. Like, I don't think the time that people were like, oh, I'm gonna play poker for a living because I'm good at it, and I'm just gonna have a like very nice life. Nowadays, it's the same that I'm picking, like, just choosing any other profession. Like, right now, it's like, this is what I love to do. It's my passion. Like, this is what I want to do. So I'm gonna put the hours. I'm gonna put the study. I'm gonna do what I need to do to be successful.
Yeah.
At what I do. Like, same if you want to be a dentist, if you want to be a doctor, if you want to be a processor, whatever.
I
like,
agree.
you have to like.
So the games aren't rigged because like I got a message this morning, somebody asking me like, I want to come play poker, but are you sure the games aren't rigged? And I'm like, no, because I've actually been in the PokerStars like data center in Isle of Man and saw like how everything worked.
Yeah,
It's very impressive. I mean, I can't speak for really any of the sites. I don't own them, but I mean, I would say that the general consensus is like, it might seem sometimes that everything is against you.
I'm sure everybody likes
maybe to run that.
I think everybody's played this before. Like you're seeing way more hands online than you'll see live. So it's just variance. It's just math. Sometimes you're just not running good. It's just variance is not on your side. But like, I agree. Some people have worse luck than others. No, it happens. It happens because math is. When you're talking about the math of poker, like just like the variance and infinity and just like the whole like over like 100,000.
Yeah, we don't know what the right sample size is.
Yeah, exactly. Like so, you could go like I mean, it should balance out in infinity, but you're not leaving infinity, so you can just run math for a while. But like if you're playing correctly, I mean, unless you're the most unlucky people in the world, like it'll be fine.
Eventually.
So I mean, there's guys like. I mean, some of the guys that are like here still like. I mean, you just like hunch to see him. Like I see, for example, a Big Hooney. He's like playing a 2K, but then at the same time he's playing a 2-2 rebuy, and he's playing as focused as he's playing the 2K.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't personally know Big Hooney. Like heard a lot of him. He's friends with a lot of my friends, but like I see this guy grind.
Yeah,
and grind.
He is a grinder.
And grind. And grind some more.
He's been like top on Pocket Five a couple times.
He's sick. And
he
like,
lives in Fido Coco for anyone who doesn't know him,
and he's,
just north of here.
Jesus, I mean, the guy puts the hard work, I'm sure. And you see guys like him, and it's like, I mean, this is what you need to do. This is a guy that's been a crusher forever, and I'm sure the reason he's been a crusher forever is because he's a guy that put hard work on it. So without the hard work, I mean, you're done.
Yeah, I agree. There's no shortcuts really.
No,
you can get lucky, but put in the work.
You can you can just like hit a lottery, hit like one of those $1 million spin and goes.
Right. Yeah.
But like, I mean,
that's what I am trying to do. No.
That's what I'm trying to do. No, seriously, that's like I'm playing like a Sunday schedule. Like I'm playing like Sunday 500s and shit. And like at the same time, like if I'm down to like 2 or 3 tables and I don't have a big stack, so I'm like folding or shoving. Like I have some $1 spin and goes just to see if I hit the billy. Just to see if I hit the billy.
Anything can happen.
Yeah, I'm like, oh.
That's what they want us to think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, some people have hit it. It's $1. It's fine. I mean, the rake, it's terrible, but.
Well, so let's talk about your winning hand of the tournament. Was it interesting?
My winning hand was pretty standard.
It was standard.
Yeah, the 6-7 was more interesting. There was another spot. The way I got the chip lead was fun hand.
Okay.
It was
that hand for all the strategy people.
Yeah, that was fun. So we're 5-handed, and there are 2 short stacks. They're both to my right. No, I'm sorry. One to my right, one to my left. That is on the big blind in this particular hand. Under the gun, that is the Spanish player. I forgot his screen right now. Got second place. Really, really good. He opens. Player right next to him, which is the chip leader at the time, which I thought was the weakest player at the table. He wasn't terrible by any means, but he was just not that great. He 3-bets. And the reason I'm saying he wasn't that bad is just like he realized under the gun he's trying to take control of the table, and he's opening a lot. So it's kind of like a fight between the 3 of us, like saying who's going to be the table captain here. So he opens, he 3-bets, and I have ace-jack on the small blind, which is a marginal hand. It's not like a great hand, but like you definitely have an ace blocker, you have a jack blocker, so you're blocking aces, you're blocking jacks, you're blocking ace-king. So you're blocking a lot of like the really good 3-bet hands. So I decided to call 4-bet it. To a sizing, I'm playing like about 40-ish big blind deep, so it's like a pretty good spot to like 4-bet there. With a lot of blockers. I think some cycles will do really like any 2 cards, but I'm definitely not one of those. I need at least one of those blockers. So I call 4-bet it. I thought it was a great play. I was playing my MTT friends. Like, that's pretty standard. Okay.
Oh.
Well, sorry. I thought it was being yes.
It's different, coming from PLO.
Yeah. Well, I was like, yes, call 4-betting here. I'm such a boss. I apparently am not.
Did everyone fold?
No.
No. Because you became chip lead on the stand.
Under the gun folds and 3-better calls. Flop 9-8, 4, 2 clubs, have no clubs, have absolutely nothing. And I'm like,
Okay.
no, I bet it. Like, I bet, like, fairly small. Like, same way I'll bet, like, an over pair, and he folds. So I'm, like, really interested in the replay to see what he had there, because I don't see that many hands he could, like, 3-bet. Because my 4-bet, oh, yeah, I forgot about this. But me, 4-betting from the small blind, my 4-bet was, like, a little bit bigger than I would actually do it if I was in position. So I'm very interested to see what he called there. I mean, like I said, like, he wasn't terrible. Like, he knew enough to, like, 3-bet maybe higher, but, like, and I want to see what he had. Like, he has some, like, very weak, like, margin connector or something, like, my opinion. I don't know if this is right or wrong. Like, I'd rather just shove or just fold. But, like, just looking at flop with those stack sizes is weird. But it might be good. I don't know. I don't know enough, to be honest.
Let us know what you guys think.
Yeah, somebody let me know.
Weigh in.
And, so I got the chip leader. Like, I got the chip lead there, and then I busted the guy in 5th place. I opened ace-10 on the button. He shoved ace-5, which is completely fine. I call. He flops a 5. And I'm right over there, just, like, looking at computer. It's like, 10, please? The turn came something, and I literally said it, like, 10, please?
And
Bing.
10.
Like, okay, bye-bye.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I run really, really good.
Beautiful.
I run really good. Like, I want every flip, like, I want, like, all the flips. Like, it's just so nice when you win the flips.
In the right time.
At the right time. I run really good at the right times. And, like, there was a 6-7 hand that I talked about it before that the guy that wasn't so great, like, ended up calling it off with ace-jack. It's a 1 per hand. That's another one. I'm not really sure if it's standard or not. I think, I did 3-bet it. So, I think in a barrel, flop, turn, and river out of position. So, I mean, the thing is, like, the thing I disagree with his call, like, I don't know if the call is standard or not, but there's a $50,000 jump there, and when I shove, he's only,
Right.
and there's a guy that has 11 big blinds at this point. So, like, I think ICM-wise, that's a big mistake. I think. Like I said,
it sounds like
enough.
it could be, because it's a very critical
because
position.
if he falls there, if he falls the river, I think he still has, like, 20 big blinds left, which is fine. Again, especially when there's, like, a very short stack.
Right.
Like, in that being a $50,000 jump, well, he might be rich and don't give a shit. I don't care.
Yeah, you just never know.
You just never know. That's actually what the guy that got second said when they proposed a deal 5-handed. He's like, "Nah, I'm rich." I thought it was great.
That's a great line.
I thought about putting on the chat, like, my backer is rich. I don't care either. I'm a bowler too. I'm a bowler by default.
That's what I love about poker players. Just, like, right to the point.
Yeah, alright. But it worked out great for me. And yeah, after I busted that guy in 4th, it was just easy. Like, I had way too many chips. Flop turn quads. I mean,
That doesn't hurt.
yeah, last hand of the tournament, he has 7 big blinds, I think. He shoved. I have king queen, which is, like, the easiest call in the world. He has king 6. I have it dominated. So I'm like, oh, it's good.
That's good.
Do not remember the board run out on that last hand. I don't know if I hit a queen.
Can you read
I don't know. I'm sure. Like, I have it on my poker tracker for sure, but, like, I was just like,
you were probably just you blacked out.
yeah, I was like, I won, and I'm like, I won, and I'm here by myself, and my mom was
not
here.
Not second, not third.
No, I, like, straight up won, and I remember just going like, "Mom, I won," and my mom had no idea how big this tournament was.
Yeah, what did your mom do?
Yeah, she come down the stairs. She's like, "Oh, you won a tournament? Nice, that's awesome. How much you win?"
$1,000.
Yeah. She's probably thinking about, and she's been seeing me play for that couple days. She pretty much, I'm sure she figured out it was, like, a decent sized tournament. She said, "How much it was?" And I'm like, 350,000. She, like, literally stopped. Started crying. I'm so proud of you. My parents are the best in that. So they always supported me. Every time something comes up about me poker-wise, they're always sharing it. And
I opened Facebook and I saw, like, your post in Spanish, like, thank you to everyone who sent me messages. And I'm like, what happened? Like, is it bad? Is it good? Like, and then I started looking at your wall and I was like, what? You know, that's...
Yeah, that was good. That was
cool.
Really good timing.
Definitely. Was that a 2-day tournament? Or
yeah, 2 days.
2 days.
Saturday and Sunday.
So, just making it to day 2, I
was super
like
happy.
Getting over the hurdle.
I was so proud of myself. I'm like, this being a 2K tourney.
And
like,
you were 14th going into day 2?
Yeah, I was fine. I was always fine.
I always feel like, and this is because I'm not a poker player, so everything for me is anecdotal, but I always feel like when people are, like, chip lead too early on, like, they're almost destined to lose, because it's like, so they get jinxed, but then, like, poker players tell me it's not like that. Like, that means they have a better chance of winning because they have more chips. But I don't know. It just seems like to maintain it is harder.
I have noticed, from what I've noticed, I don't know enough about this either, but what I noticed, I think when like people is chip leader with like still fair amount of people to go, the game has evolved to a point like everybody plays like really well in general, especially like higher stakes. Like everybody plays like really good. So they're trying to apply a lot of pressures in like good spots, but like some of the other players also know what they're doing.
Yeah.
So it comes to a point that they clash.
Yeah.
So, and sometimes they win and they just go with a massive chip lead, or sometimes they just go down. Like in this case, I saw a guy, I think he's like a high stakes guy, Will Shaha, something like that. Like, I seen the screen a lot. I know he's like really, like I've been saying, like everybody's a secret there. I was the only like, hey, I play 200 PLO. Yes. And like everybody was like really good, and I mean he had like a good chip lead for a while, and he got into this spot that I don't know if it's standard or not, but I thought it was a terrible call and just lost a huge spot in a spot that me personally, I might misplay the freaking hand, but I would have never lost that many chips there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what's the point? Like you're having so many easy chips like handed to you. Like even though like this being a 2K, I noticed when we're like close to the final table, like people tied up like a $5.
Well, yeah, just like
and I was
whenever
like,
the bubble is.
And I was like looking, like I looked for the first time like the payouts, and I'm like, oh, I'm about to make them. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm happy now. It's not amazing, like a crazy person, just like
you're
yes.
in the flow.
And I figure like a lot of these people is like this huge money. It's huge money for me as well. But at this point, like I'm for rolling. Like I know I'm an underdog in this tournament. I know that. I don't kid myself. Like I know, like in a 2K online tournament, I am definitely not plus EV in general. But I was running good. I was playing good. I've been doing good in the live game, so I'm like, all right. If my backer is willing to back me into this, like I'll take a shot. Why not? I'm sure I can clear it up in some like live tournament or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I'm always counting into those big live LAPTs. Let's do it. But I was like, but I know like there's better players.
You're
like I don't.
You were feeling it.
Yeah, like I felt my game was good for the like I felt I was like probably break even or maybe a little bit under EV, but like I didn't think that like it was like that. Like, I wouldn't take the risk if I really thought it was a bad decision. I thought it was a fairly informed decision. And I was like, okay, I've been playing, like, some 7500 stuff, and I wasn't really getting outplayed that much. Like, I'm sure I was getting outplayed in some spots. But, like, in general, I was like, okay, so I can take a shot here. Yeah. And so I think at that point that these guys are really used to these stakes, but, like, a lot of these guys, because they play higher stakes, some of them might be in, like, 100K makeup and stuff like that. So it's, like, very important for them. Like, at that point, my makeup was, like, probably, like, 15K. So I was like, I'm actually making money here.
And you did.
I'm like, yes, I'm happy. Yeah, I did. I ended up making a lot,
well,
but I was like, and I just like started playing way more aggressive, and it worked out pretty well. I gotta thank some of my friends for that.
When's the party?
Jesus, I don't know. Like I went out yesterday, like an old person, to just a bar and just have drinks there.
You're like having one beer.
I have like sour, but I did feel like a ball there. I was like, don't worry, guys, I'll take this bill.
Well, maybe this weekend.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, next Monday, for sure, there's going to be some kind of party. It's my birthday, too, so birthday plus big score. Stuff that big
birthday, big score, Black Friday anniversary. It's a very auspicious time. Very
Black Friday, April 18th?
I think it's the 15th.
Yeah,
14th
I know.
15th.
I'm not that unlocked.
It's literally this week.
Yeah,
and
it's
I
this
just
week,
realized that when we were sitting here. So this is fun. Like, good, like, reflection on the state of the game. Yeah. What your life is like living here as, you know.
I strongly recommend it.
Yeah. Is there anything that you'd like to add or ask or share with the audience?
I have to think something smart to say, but I think I said already everything I have to say about that. I'll just go Forrest Gump there.
You're just in a good mood, gonna keep the run good going. Thank you so much, Federico, for letting us chat with you, and see you at the celebration party.
Sure,
right?
And anytime, more than glad. And thank you so much for having me.
Pura vida, everyone.
Pura
vida.
That's good. I liked it.
Yeah, that was fun.